Hello friends, Adam here with FED. Now that this Fire Emblem Engage Emblem Ring trailer is out in English, there's a lot more information for me to glean personally. I know there's people that read Japanese that are translating it and stuff, but I'm glad we have it in English now so that I can just kind of do it myself. There's a lot of cool information in this trailer. We're going to be looking at it for quite a while. I'm sure they gave us a lot to work with here. But today I want to talk about Corrin and Byleth and how I think their like emblem ring abilities are going to work. They're like field abilities, I guess you would call it. I think that they have to do with which characters equipped with them, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But first, I want to like look at them, right? So we have her and Chloe, who have the Dragon Vein ability, right? We know it's called Dragon Vein. Skipping forward a bit, we see it's called Vein of Succor, right? And succor means to aid or help people, by the way. In before a Ligma joke is there. But, it creates a healing glow, creates healing tiles, kind of like the first like actual battle map of Fire Emblem Fates, right? So the one after the prologue. And then later, we see, skipped over it. Later, we see this guy with Corrin, and instead of it being Vein of Succor, it's Vein of Water, which creates water that decreases a void, right? Cool. Another thing that affects terrain, but it's different. But he clearly doesn't have the Vein of Succor option here, right? So I was just kind of like, that's odd, right? Why is it different? And then I thought maybe it has to do with the terrain or whatever else. And you go later, it's around the 5-minute mark of the trailer. We have another one here, the dancer guy, who has the Dragon Vein, because, equipped with Corrin. And it says Vein of Ice. Vein of Ice. So there's 3 different veins that were shown, right? And I thought maybe it has to do with, like, maybe every character has a specific difference or something. But I think it's simpler than that. If you notice, every single character has a class. For instance, Seadoll here, his class is Dancer. But then there's a slash and then like a modifier, or I don't know if it's a modifier or what you would call that, but it's some like extra identifier for the unit itself. So Seadoll is a dancer slash key adept, right? And we saw that Chloe, it is Griffin Rider, or Griffin Knight, which honestly cool that that's back, by the way. Griffin Knight slash flying, and then we have went too far. And then we have this guy, who I forgot his name. It's like Aaron or something like that. Amber is cavalry, paladin slash cavalry, right? So I think your modifier there, cavalry, key adept, flying, Alir is dragon. I think that's going to have an impact on what Corrin's skill will do, right? What the Dragon Vein will be. I think it's going to be a similar thing for Byleth, and here's why I think that. So if we go look at Byleth here, they have the instruct command, and in parentheses by instruct it says speed, right? And then we're told that it gives +5 speed to nearby allies, and that just to me kind of implies that it's going to have other effects depending on who has the ring on, which is really cool to think about it that way. So Alchemist is a covert type. So I don't know how to say that class type. That's some French nonsense in my mind. Terraire d'élite or whatever. But he's covert is his class modifier or whatever we're going to call that second term. And it gives instruct speed. So I imagine on someone with like maybe Bergeron, I don't know, who's like an axe fighter or axe boy, it would probably not be instruct speed. It'd probably something like instruct strength or something like that. So I'm excited to see how all the emblem rings interact differently with different class types. I think there's a lot of potential there. I don't think it's going to be limited to just Byleth and Corrin. I think we're going to see that with other rings as well. Really excited. Really excited. I think Corrin and Byleth might be the 2 like most creative rings that we've seen so far. Really cool stuff. And I'm excited to see what Ike. I can't even imagine what they're going to do with Ike or Roy, or Erica, other ones we haven't seen. I'm extremely excited for this stuff, man. Extremely excited. Anyways, what do you think of the emblem rings, Byleth and Corrin? Do you think they're pretty cool? Do you think what I said kind of makes sense, or do you think it's something entirely different that decides the effect of their instruct or dragon vein skills? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. So please talk down there and like the video if you wouldn't mind, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.